Good morning, South Africa. My name's Clem Pedro. It's Wednesday, my favorite day of the week, and it's officially the Culinary Hotline. Bling! Ding, ding, ding! Now, don't lie, that was weak. That was weak, people. Okay, we're gonna do that again. The Culinary Hotline. Bling! Ding, ding, ding! That was better, right?
Fantastic.
That was amazing. Like I said, it's Wednesday. We are in the kitchen, and it's International Women's Day. Right?
Really?
So I was going to do all the cooking for you, but I thought, like, what better way just to showcase the amazing talent and ability that we have than to bring you into the kitchen and to just educate the world. Lead the young ladies out there that are hoping to become amazing bakers. And if you're wondering who I'm talking to right now, it's Sassy Bakes.
Oh, I know.
Sassy Bakes. I said it's Sassy Bakes. Glad now they're officially with us. So, very excited to have you in the kitchen.
Thank you, babe.
I said that this reminds me of, and I think I can say it reminds me of that little thing that you buy where it's got filled with the cream. Can I say the name? Like a tinky. But this is a tinky for two, and I think it's really, really amazing. I'm really into desserts that are served slightly bigger than one portion.
Yeah.
My wife and I have been popping around a lot of restaurants, and that's kind of the trend. One plate, two spoons.
There we go.
This is kind of the vibe.
It's all about sharing.
It's all about sharing. What is it?
It's a lemon and pistachio batter cake.
Fragrant, delicious, and I want to say on trend.
Very
Yes.
much.
Talk to me about the ingredients, because I'm not seeing a lot of them.
It's a very simple recipe, but it's so tasty. It's all about the butter and the lemon. And you know, pistachios, it always just adds that extra crunch, just what we all need.
Absolutely. And I'm not going to talk about the beautiful gilded one on the side. We'll get there, we'll get there. So where do we begin with the recipe?
So what we're going to do is we're going to start with our butter and our sugar, then add in our eggs and all the flour. Everything one go.
Hey,
Yeah,
my kind of baking.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's simple, but yet so tasty.
What advice do you have? Because I see, I'm looking at it, and that butter looks like it's already kind of softened. What advice do you have when someone has forgotten to take it out of the fridge and now it's rock hard?
Okay, so you are allowed to pop it in the microwave. The only problem is, don't leave it in the microwave because we don't want melted butter.
No.
So what I basically do, I'll put my block of butter in and then leave it in like for 10-second increments and just move the whole block around all the time.
10 seconds, people.
There we
10
go.
seconds, not 1 minute, 10 seconds. Okay, let's kick off. Let's time it. Let's start. So we're going to cream the butter.
Yeah, so can you put in my sugar for me?
Sure thing.
Yeah.
Are we using caster sugar?
Work, yeah.
Caster sugar?
Yeah, go for
And
it.
why do you use caster sugar instead of
It's just,
Sabuana?
it's finer, you know, and it makes the baking more lighter. There you go. Pop it all in, baby.
Okay, all of it, all of it, all of it.
There we go.
So, if I don't have a hand mixer, this would be quite easy then to do with like a wooden spoon
or worse.
or worse.
Some hand power.
I think so.
So all your eggs?
I mean, that's how we were taught as well when we were in chef school. We didn't get
No!
No, we had to do it by hand.
By hand.
This was everything, right. So while I've got this in my hand, what can I do in the meantime? I'm seeing icing sugar and lemon juice. Is that our drizzle?
Yeah, that's going to be this is going to be our glaze and our drizzle. Okay, so this is going to be our glaze first, and then our drizzle is on afterwards.
Right.
Drizzle glaze.
So what can I do for you first?
So first do that for me, my love.
And again, we got caster sugar again.
Caster sugar again.
Is that kind of your hack, how to incorporate sugar?
Okay, so while you're doing that as well, can you crack one egg at a time for me?
One egg at a time.
There we go.
While whisking and singing the national anthem. Oh, seasick. Hey, there we go, I did it, one hand. That's pretty cool. And also,
my sweetheart, in here. Okay. Can we a national anthem, please, baby?
I think that's why we don't get International Men's Day. I think that's why we don't get International Men's Day, because we don't listen.
You don't listen.
Men don't listen, that's why we don't get an International Day.
Don't worry, I'm sure that the recipe also calls for 3 eggs. So just this side.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go. Eh?
You know what? We do things real on the show.
Yeah. We're just going to pretend this is a 2-in-1 egg. Everybody asking, this is a 2-in-1 egg.
Yes. Let's go.
Next one.
I mean, what would happen to this glaze now that I've added an egg to it?
That's 3. It'll be fantastic.
It will be fantastic. Don't do it.
Nice and creamy.
Don't do it. But, yeah, we're safe. Cool. There we go. Look, I was once on a show with Jeannie D, and I had a little bit of salt in the pot, and I said, add some salt, and she added the whole pot. We rolled with it.
No,
We
definitely.
rolled
Who
with
doesn't love salt?
it.
I love
Does
salt.
not love salt. Okay, cool. So this is our beautiful glaze.
Okay, then in with the flour, my darling.
Here we go. The flour goes into where the eggs and the butter
There,
have
that's it, because we're not making a flour glaze.
No.
It's an actual cake.
been. No. Can we make this cake in advance, or would you like... sorry, the batter,
You know what? You can make anything in advance.
Yeah.
Because it's just so much better. It tastes amazing.
And I'm also guessing...
And also, do you know, a cake also needs to, the moment it rests in all the flavor, you know that.
Especially because we're using a drizzle, so you really want to hydrate that cake with that lemon drizzle, get the flavor really in.
There we go. So
Love,
now in with
love
our milk, our lemon juice, our zest.
Tell me about the pistachios.
Where is our pistachio?
I'm looking at the end and I'm seeing it over there. Do you need them chopped real? I'm moving.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna actually bring this to my side. Pistachios, and we don't need to toast them, or do we? Should we toast the pistachios?
It was supposed to be toasted.
Yeah. So, and that's a great way to bring out flavor. So these have been...
But for now, can we just fake it till we make it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
There we go.
These have been lightly toasted. I can still feel they're still slightly warm. So giving them a rough chop. And I mean, if you blitz this up, a little bit of it, that little slight green hue.
So what I do, I usually roast it, even if you want to roast it in a pan, just so it's easier. Because not everybody wants to put it in a tray and put it in the oven, so just roast it in a pan.
I mean, putting on an oven just for one thing. No.
There we go.
There we go. Okay, those look amazing. And so you get that beautiful green hue, a little bit of that. You do get a beautiful aromatic scent from pistachios, and I love it. Almost makes you feel very, what's the word I'm trying to think about? When I don't want to say Middle Eastern because it's not, but when we start adding flavors like pistachio.
And rose water.
And rose water.
You know, and a bit of cardamom. I love, that's my flavor.
That's
my go-to.
amazing. That sounds amazing. So very simple. I love this recipe. Again, like I said, when I do bake, I prefer having simpler recipes.
Yeah.
And this is one that is like...
And also, if you want to pass on a recipe to someone, you don't want to make it too complicated.
No.
Because the moment you see a recipe has like 10 elements to it.
You're out.
Eh? I'm done.
Me too.
I'm done.
Me too. Okay, so that bakes off to this beautiful little loaf shape.
There.
When it comes out, that's when we hit it with our icing sugar and lemon juice. Let that soak in.
Once it's nice and hot. So it comes out, let it rest for like 2-3 minutes, take it out. I usually poke some nice holes in it, pour my glaze over it, and then my syrup over it, and then afterwards, when it gets nice and cold, about half an hour, with my glaze.
Let's save that magic for part 2. So in South Africa, if you have any questions for myself or Sassy Bakes on anything baking, let us know on WhatsApp. That number is 063-408-8863. We are not done. We'll be back for part 2.
Thank you.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Good morning, South Africa. We are back in the kitchen for installment 2 of the Culinary Hotline Bling. Ting, ting, ting. Okay, so this is our third apron. Do you know who this belongs to?
I got no idea.
It's our viewers out there, and the way that they can, like, metaphorically put it on is by getting involved in the segment. How you do that is by sending your voice notes to 063-408-8863. But now, we got part 2. And it's smelling amazing. It's smelling so good, and it's one of my favorite ingredients. What are we making? Can we just do it? Because I'm so excited. What are we making?
I'm making some lemon butter mussels.
Lemon butter mussels, one of the easiest recipes to make, but one of the most satisfying dishes ever.
Absolutely. Just I call it a one-pot wonder.
Yes. And why are we making this?
Because it's my favorite. And you know, every man eats mussels. It's Women's Day, National Women's Day, so I'm decided to give you some mussels.
So are you actually teaching this to the men out there so they can make it for the ladies out there?
Absolutely.
Let's do this. Where do we start?
So we're going to, can you do me the honors?
I mean, also, I'm looking at that ingredient. Are we using some butter? And that's already a win. As soon as you're using as soon as the recipe starts with this amount of butter, I'm there.
Yeah,
I'm done.
too.
This is it. Okay. So butter, and are you going with salted or unsalted?
Doesn't really matter. You can use salted or unsalted.
As a baker, when we talk about salted and unsalted, does it really make a difference to the way that you bake?
Not to me.
No. I mean, unpopular
To some people
opinion.
it does, But,
I don't, because I believe that salt in baking it's necessary.
Yes.
And the salt that you get from butter is richness, not necessarily, you're never gonna go, oh my word, your cake is so salty, did you use salted butter? It's just a richness that you get from the butter, so I don't.
I know a lot of recipes they prefer you to use unsalted butter.
Yeah.
I don't care, darling. It's just all about the love.
There we go.
Huh?
So
More salt.
More salt. So we're cooking our butter down.
Yeah, we're melting our butter. This is easy peasy, but it's so satisfying and it's absolutely delicious.
When it comes to the mussels, can I ask? Because people get like, they have a lot of questions about this, and they say, if a recipe says fresh mussels, but I can't get it, should I just like leave the recipe? Can we go frozen? Can we go like you're doing today?
Yeah.
So frozen works perfectly fine.
Yeah, just make sure that, because, you know, obviously when it's frozen, you know that it retains a lot of water. So you need to maybe just put it in the colander, make sure that it dries out properly. I generally just put them on a roller towel or something, let them dry, and then you can use it.
Perfect, yes. Don't be soaking your mussels.
And also, please do not overcook the mussels.
It's the worst
literally
thing.
needs 3 minutes.
I think the reason people are sometimes okay with overcooked mussels because their only association with mussels is like when it comes from the tin, and then it's like, you know, it's a different texture. But mussels shouldn't be like that. They should be soft and pillowy.
Yes.
And that you only get by cooking it at like I think like 5 minutes is enough. 5 minutes is like pushing
enough.
it. Yeah, absolutely.
And look how simple this is. In with our pepper, right?
Yes.
But we need to have that nice crunch to it as well. Because, you know, there's nothing like a nice crunchy pepper when you're eating your mussels.
And it brings out like a citrusy flavor. And once you overcook that as well, you lose it a little bit. So keep it fresh. Yes, love it.
So now we're going to go in with our lemon pepper.
Another ingredient that we don't use enough of. I love it, lemon pepper.
Chili, some garlic. It's like it's all in one, right?
Again, my kind of cooking, everything to the pot.
Love, love, love it.
What was that? Garlic powder?
Garlic powder.
Yeah.
Can you smell it already?
Yes.
Eh?
I mean, garlic and garlic powder, I believe that using them together is always a win.
Always.
So this is great. I love that.
So I love my chili. So, you know, it really depends on whether you want to use more chili, use more black pepper. I love black pepper. I can do black pepper with everything. Just not with cake, but with everything else.
Agreed, agreed. So we're not going to be getting any black pepper cakes coming from you anytime soon?
No,
No.
not at this moment in
Right.
time, I'm sorry.
And then I like the fact
And
that
then in goes your cream.
Hey, some cream.
Let me just say, no dieting here today, baby.
No, not at all, no. And that's okay. It's only
And that's
Women's
fine.
Day once a year.
Yeah, just eat it. And like I say, whenever you eat something that is considered fatty, don't go there. Once you put the spoon in your mouth, the first thing you say is, this cucumber tastes beautiful.
Who are those people?
It's all in the mind.
Who are those
all in the
people?
mind. Who are those people?
Right. But I like that you're adding a little bit of something healthy. You've got baby spinach.
So in this case, we'll be eating baby spinach, right?
Which is great because it wilts down.
Yeah, in with
but
the baby spinach.
You still get the nutrients. Raul would be very happy with that. But again, I like the fact that you're also bulking up the dish by adding the baby spinach.
And it's just so delicious. I mean, just come and have a look.
And
Come
a smell.
and have a look.
And a smell. Like, that smells so, so, so good. I mean...
And you just wilt it for like 2 or 3 minutes, in with your mussels, and it's ready to serve.
If I cook that down and once I get that nice texture, I'm thinking that over pasta would be so, so good.
You can even, instead of using the mussels, you can even do it with fish.
Right.
You can do it with chicken. What I would then say is just use some butter and then put some chicken cubes in there and just add it afterwards. And you can, you know, do your pasta.
Woo! Okay, so I'm not the only person that's super enticed by this recipe. We also have a voice note. Let's have a little listen to what one of our viewers has to say.
Good morning. This is a question for Sassy. I wanted to know what is the reason that a cake or a cupcake will taste stale if you baked it a day before? So let's say you baked it a Saturday, but the Sunday it tastes stale, but you haven't decorated it yet. What could be the reason for that?
Okay.
Thank you.
What it can also be as your leavening agent. So it could be that maybe there's too little baking powder or, you know, a little bit too little bicarb. And then also, I also find that sometimes when people use butter, they tend to use a little bit too much flour, and that makes for a very dense cake. So I like using the combination of half butter, half oil, because oil is something that also keeps the cake nice and moist. Also, don't ever leave your cakes standing open. Always make sure that it's in a sealed container. And that should also prevent them from going stale.
I'm sorry, I zoned out because even I was like, why would that happen? And then you answered it so beautifully. Sassy, that was absolutely amazing. We're going to add those mussels. We're going to chow down on that and the beautiful loaf cake that you made. Thank you for coming through and inspiring us on this Women's Day. Sassy, you were absolutely amazing. South Africa, we are not done, though. We've got a third segment with another special guest coming into the kitchen. Don't forget to send us those voice notes to the magic number 063 408 8863. We'll be right back.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, South Africa, to the last installment, unfortunately, of the Culinary Hotline Bling! Ding, ding, ding! It's been an amazing International Women's Day, and I'd like to introduce, you've seen her before, but I'm going to introduce her anyway, one of the most amazing food storytellers I have ever met, Nalu.
Yeah.
I mean, Nalu, do you need an introduction? But I'm going to do it. Nalu, Dube, Cele.
Yes.
I mean, your food, like, it has healed me after a long day of shooting and filming. I've come to your restaurant. I've had literally a meal that has inspired me and left me feeling brand new. Yep. And we had to bring you in today because you are honestly one of the most inspiring females I know. And today you're making something very beautiful, very flavorsome. What are we making?
Today we're making chakalaka, which is one of those dishes that really represents who I am as a woman. So chakalaka has got lots of different ingredients. So I'm the kind of person that loves to bring different things together and make them work. Chakalaka is a humble dish. I come from a very humble background and raised by simple women, but they've turned me into this amazing woman. At times, I'm hot and spicy, so very, very passionate in everything that I do.
And always colorful.
Yeah, very.
Always
very,
colorful.
very.
Like, it's so funny because someone once said, like, chicken noodle soup is called, like, Jewish penicillin.
Yeah.
And chakalaka is like South African penicillin.
It is.
It just heals you.
It just takes you right there. And it's one of those dishes I always say, if everything fails on the plate, chakalaka will save me.
Right. So where do we begin?
So let's get started. I'm also a very rich woman. So with my chakalaka, I love to put a lot of oil. I know my mother would be very, very angry at me, but it just adds richness and you want that comfort. And we started off by frying our onions, right?
So I know that Willie's be on the mind. Water carries color. Yeah. Oil carries flavor.
So much.
So when you do need to add, like, you want to enhance flavors, make sure you have enough oil, especially when you're using spices.
Exactly.
Very, very important.
Exactly.
Let me just check. Do we have a voice note for Nolu? Ooh. Oh no, it's coming through. Actually, the request was for you to send a message. We want you to send a message out to the woman out there.
Oh, sure.
And I'm not just in food, in everything. What words of inspiration do you have for the woman out there on International Women's Day?
So basically on my side, there's been a song that's been uplifting me a lot. It's by Loyiso, and basically it says, "Bekezela, qinisela, uzophumelela," which basically means you must persevere. You are going to succeed. International Women's Day highlight the plight and the issues of women that we face, but I believe it's also a time to celebrate and to see where we've come from and inspire other women. So to all the women, bekezelani, qiniselani, nizophumelela.
I was going to bring out a mic. Do you want to sing?
No, hell no, I can't sing.
So, your restaurant, the flavors that you offer at the restaurant, so inspiring, so delicious. And it's almost, I want to say, it's given me food memories and taken me back to places I've never been to. They're not my food memories, but I'm there. And I know that you're in a brand new location. And so I'm asking live on TV, so you can't say no. We've got the series called Foodie Tours that we do on Expresso. How about we go visit Nolu's kitchen and see what happens behind the scenes? What do you think? Would that
I
be great?
think that is fantastic, so that I can show you. Because most times when I'm cooking, there's certain things that I omit and I don't share.
Okay.
So I'll share some of my secret ingredients with you, and I'd feel privileged.
There we go.
Welcome you guys to my kitchen.
We're making that happen. We're gonna, on the next episode of Foodie Tours, we're gonna be going to Nolu's kitchen, called 7 Colors,
Yeah.
by the way, appropriately named. And I love it. So South Africa, you're gonna have such a treat joining us behind the scenes of this amazing kitchen.
Most
Okay,
definitely.
talking about amazing kitchens. This is smelling amazing. So
It's
carrots
beautiful.
joined. What else have you added to the pot?
So basically, I started off with the oil, sauteed the onions, and then added my garlic and ginger, plus that chili to give it so much flavor. And now I'm busy just adding my carrots. I'm gonna fry them a little bit. You want them to fry.
Can I
yeah,
please
yeah.
show the country
Yeah.
the colors? Because these colors are amazing. Like, how beautiful is that? Also, you know the reason I like cooking in enamel, especially with the lighter color interior, is because you can see what's happening to the spices, the way they coat the
Yes.
enamel part. So you really can see what's happening, and you know when, that almost tells you when to add the next
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So, okay, chakalaka do's and don'ts.
Chakalaka.
When is it not a chakalaka? When I add something and it's no longer chakalaka, what's that ingredient?
When on my side, when you start adding, I would say meat to it, it's not chakalaka.
Not a chakalaka?
There's no
Okay.
chakalaka bacon.
Chefs out there, you've been told.
Yeah, and also you have to make sure you're not skewing the ingredients. You have to ensure that they fry and they get coated in spices. So it's very, very important just to continue to fry chakalaka.
Hot,
Yeah.
high heat.
Yeah, high
keep the
heat.
crispness, keep the flavor in.
Yes.
If it's a stew, it's not a
not a
chakalaka
chakalaka.
anymore. I got you. No meat, no stew.
Yeah.
I love it. And the fact that you're adding tomatoes, which I see you've got in your hand,
Yeah.
which are supposed to chop, and you're adding spices. Chakalaka is a great dish then to cook in bulk and store.
Very much.
Is it, I mean, if you had to guess what a shelf life would be or a fridge life would be.
So definitely, if you're able to, what I normally do, which is a secret, is I set the beans aside and then I just make the chakalaka. And then just as I'm about to serve it, I add the beans. That can keep it for at least 2 weeks if you store it at the right temperature. Yeah.
Whoa, in the fridge,
Yeah,
right?
in the fridge.
Okay, so I'm gonna, no, you keep on cooking. You
I'm
keep on cooking.
cooking. Yeah.
I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna bring this a little forward. And I always feel like, again, that oil's necessary because your chakalaka should always have a bit of a
You want
sheen.
that gloss.
You want that gloss.
You want
And you
that
got our
gloss.
beautiful steamed bread. Can I give it a little
Yeah.
dip?
That is called ujek.
Ujek, okay.
Oh, yeah. So we're going to take it out a bit.
And this is actually a beautiful part.
It's gorgeous. It molds it really well.
Ah,
Look at how beautiful
yes.
it looks.
Okay, so you gave it a tap now. So with bread in general, when you bake it, you give it a tap.
Yeah.
So what do we do? How do you know that it's done when you're steaming it?
So when it's just like an ordinary bread, you can take a fork or a sort of like a stick, and then you put it in. If it's wet, it's not done.
If it's wet, it's not done.
It's not done.
So I want to bring an amazing woman into the kitchen right now, Joyce. Please come into the kitchen.
Hey. Yay.
Without Joyce, the show would not happen. Joyce literally orchestrates everything behind the scenes. Joyce, thank you so much for joining us in the kitchen.
Okay, thank you guys.
Tell me something. Are you a chakalaka fan?
Wow, yes.
Okay.
I like chocolate.
So I'm no longer gonna taste this. I want you to taste it. Okay.
Really? I
So,
like it, eh?
Joyce, I just had an idea. I'm gonna actually ask our DJ upstairs if we can get that special music ready for us. So Joyce, you know we do this thing, right?
Yes,
Where we
I know.
taste and then we look into the camera and we give the camera our special eyes. We
Yeah.
communicate with the viewers out there. Are you gonna do it?
Yes, I will.
Okay, so but
I'll
you
try.
gotta be as smooth as you are normally on camera. Okay, so there you go. Here's you got everything. You gotta
Okay.
no forks, right? You gotta dunk it in there, get it in there. You go. Bread's been sliced. Okay, you got your piece? Yeah, yeah. Oh, we are so ready for this. Okay, yes. Okay, first the bread. Okay, but that's what the music's coming. Okay, now get the chakalaka. Get the chakalaka. Now look into that camera. Look into that camera. Oh, woo. Joyce. Yes! Oh, yes! Joyce, International Women's Day every day! Every day, Joyce! Woo! Oh, my word. Okay, so while Joyce is chewing, I'm gonna ask you, tell me about it. Flavors, hit, 10 out of 10. What are we tasting?
The bread, 10 of 10.
Yes.
Chakalaka, 10 of 10.
Whoa!
It's a combine.
Yeah, well.
Nolu, 10 out of 10. South Africa, you 10 out of 10. We're not done with Nolu. You're going to be seeing Nolu on your screens again behind the scenes in our amazing kitchen 7 colors. South Africa, you've been amazing. We're going to jam out as we say goodbye. Can we just DJ? DJ. Yes. Yes. Oh. Yes. Woo. Woo.